Hey guys, Mr. Barnes here again, bringing another math video. This video on a technique for factoring complex trinomials. So they look like this: ax squared plus bx plus c. So I remember someone showed me this a few years ago, and I was absolutely amazed how easy it is. And ever since then, I've been showing everybody, who I teach and all my teaching buddies and stuff like that. And it's kind of a weird thing that no one knows this, or not a lot of people do anyway, and it's not in the curriculum that I teach. So I like to show my students because it's definitely an easier way to factor than the alternative, which is decomposition. So we might use the Barnes method. And the reason why it's called the Barnes method now is because that's what all the students call it. So that's what I'm going to call it. It's the Barnes method. So something of the form like this. So you want to factor it. So the Barnes method starts off exactly the same way as decomposition. So we take the first number and multiply the last number. So it's what adds to give us the middle number here, 16. And then what multiplies to give us, or 16, sorry, adds to give us 16, and then multiplies to give us 15. So again, you can't avoid this, and this is really the most difficult part of the Barnes method, is that you have to come up with those two numbers. Same as decomposition. So it adds to give you 15, or adds to give you 16, multiplies to give you 15. So the two numbers that do that are 1 and 15. So the part that's different from decomposition is that we have to take this guy that's out in front, and that is 3, and we have to divide both of these numbers by 3. So we can't do anything with 1 over 3, so we just write it as 1 over 3. And this guy reduces down to 5. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So then what we do is basically just write it in our factored form. So it becomes x plus 1 over 3, and then x plus 5. So that's what your factored form looks like. Two binomials, that's what trinomials, most of them factor to. Or most of the ones that you would do this with anyway, that would factor. And then the next step would be, now we can't have 1 over 3 in our factored form, so what we do basically is just multiply this bracket by 3. So we get 3x plus 1, so basically multiply that by 3, it's just 3x, multiply 1 over 3 by 3 is just 1, and then x plus 5. And that is our factored form, right there. So that avoids decomposition. Now the reason why I like Barnes' method is because I can do that process mentally without actually having to write much down, which pays off when you get in higher level mathematics, because you don't want to be taking a bunch of asides trying to factor all this stuff using decomposition or whatever technique you got. If you could do anything mentally and get it correct the majority of the time, it's definitely worth doing. So the only thing we have to remember is the kryptonite of the Barnes method is that you need to take out a common factor, which we should be doing anyway if we're doing decomposition. So this guy has a 2, so we'll take out a 2. So I'm left with 5x squared minus 7x plus 2. So then we only concentrate on what's inside the brackets. So I'll multiply these two together again. So it's what adds to give me negative 7, and then multiplies to give me 10. So then all I have to do is figure out those two numbers. So those two numbers are negative 2 and negative 5. Then I'll take my 5, divide these both by 5. So they reduce down to negative 2 over 5. That doesn't change. This guy reduces down to negative 1. So I'm left with x minus 2 over 5, x minus 1. And that becomes 5x minus 2. So really, guys, you should just see, like, when I multiply, all I'm doing is taking that number, putting it in front, and then x minus 1. And there it is. Now the only thing I need to remember is when I write my final answer. So my final answer has a 2 in front of it because that's what I factored out. I almost forgot that guy. So there's my final answer with the 2 in front. Alright guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video on the Barnes method. And if you liked it, like it, share it, like me on, or follow me on Twitter. So see you guys in class, and have a great study session. See ya.